Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be installing an Echo SpeedFeed head on my Toro 60V Revolution string trimmer. I will be installing a used SpeedFeed head. Actually, this one's still pretty good. The cap is pretty good, doesn't need to be replaced. And the new one, we're gonna keep for future uses. But the reason why I bought a new one is because of this little collar here. That's what we're gonna be needing in order to install a SpeedFeed head on the Toro 60V string trimmer. You're gonna get some hardware in this package here. It's gonna look something like this. There's gonna be some more fasteners. You will not need any of this, so put that aside. You'll just need the golden adapter there. Now, again, there's different kinds. They're all kind of color coded with different thread patterns. You're gonna need the golden one, and in this case, the golden one's already pre-installed on my head. And that's the same thing here. What we need to do next is stop the head from spinning. And if you turn this collar and find where the opening hole meets another opening on this gear head, you're gonna go ahead and grab yourself a little rod. I don't know what the size this is, maybe an 1/8 inch or something. Or you can take a Phillips head screwdriver or some sort of screwdriver. That will kind of be your placeholder in order to twist the head completely off. Now in this case, we're gonna spin it to the left or counterclockwise and remove the head completely. Here are the two heads side by side. Again, this is Toro's version of a SpeedFeed head. This is an Echo original SpeedFeed 400. And you would wind them up the same way, you know, line up the notches, pull your string through, and then twist it in order to restring your head. But I honestly like these heads because they're a little bit smaller, as you can see on the profile there. A little bit smaller, they're a little bit lighter, and they're not as sensitive. So these heads are really sensitive, the Toro ones, and I feel like I'm sometimes pulling out more line than necessary when you are trimming around, let's just say bricks or rocks or something tough, or you hit a piece of wood accidentally and it'll push out line. So with the Echoes, I have never seen that to be an issue. So what we're gonna do next is install the little collar. Now we're gonna flip the gear head or trimmer with the gear head exposed up and see how there's like this little metal lip here. We need to create a good seal with our collar, and the opening here is much bigger than the opening on this ribbed side, as I call it. We're gonna take the collar and place it in and see how it kind of fits snug. If we were to do it the other way, so flip it and do it this way, it moves all over the place, and we don't want that. So we want it to be snug. So we're gonna set it just like that, and then take our SpeedFeed head. Actually, before we do that, let's put the back cap on, like that. We're gonna take our SpeedFeed head and slowly turn it clockwise. Don't muscle man it, just make sure it's snug, and there you go. Let's go ahead and restring this trimmer head as well. Now, I went ahead and got 2 arm spans full of string line, and what we'll do is we'll kind of line up the dots and turn it to make sure you can see directly through it. We're gonna feed our line directly through the opening hole there, and it's gonna come out the other end if you did it correctly. Now what we wanna do is take this line and feed half of it out the other end. You wanna make sure that you have an even amount of line on both sides. And I got it perfectly even right here. I don't know if the camera will catch it, but they're perfectly even. Now, here comes the fun part. Since this is a SpeedFeed head, you're gonna twist the head counter or clockwise in order to wind the string. So we're just gonna twist this head, and yes, the line is going to tangle up. It's okay. Here's what it would look like with the shield on. Now again, I personally take my shield off of all of my trimmers. I just like to visibly see what's going on in this area while I'm trimming. And so with the shield on, you don't get any visibility. However, you do get more protection from flying debris when you do trim, let's just say rocks or anything. They're gonna hit the shield and the impact's gonna be reflected to somewhere else. It's not gonna be targeting your shins. On the shield itself, it's got this little cutter here. Now I'd say that's probably, 6 to 8 inches right there. So that's the ideal length you want on each side. You don't want to go past that because on these 60 volts, I've noticed if you go with longer string past the kind of recommended length on both sides, the trimmer will actually start to cut off on you. I don't know if that's with every trimmer, but that's what I have been dealing with. Since we need a little bit more line, I'm just going to go ahead and insert my battery and give this maybe a tap or two, all right, while the throttle is on. All right, one tap. I'm gonna see my length. I'd probably go one more. Let's do one more. Now just kind of looking back at it with a shield partially installed, I know that I was super close. I was about ½ an inch off. So we're gonna go ahead and shave a little bit of this line. This much shouldn't really matter. However, I'm just kind of going, see? So it's perfectly equal. We just need to take off maybe a little bit less than an inch on both sides, and we got it to where it needs to be. It also wouldn't be a bad idea to lube your gear head using some good grease. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take this screw off here. This is where you can access, quote unquote, the grease port. Now I don't know the thread pattern on this. All I know is I used a 10mm socket to remove the screw head. And if you look closely inside, you'll see that there's grease inside of there. That prevents, of course, the gearbox from wearing prematurely and reduces the corrosion. So we just want to go ahead and pack some more grease inside of this gear head. I don't know if Toro makes something like this. This is steel super lube. And what's cool thing about the steel versions is they have these threads here, and on their gear heads you can actually take this tube and thread the threads that you see on the end of this tube into the gear head, so they have matching threads. Well, in this case these threads are much bigger than that, so that won't work. But again, I wish that Toro maybe in the future time will come out with a product with a tube like this that will thread inside of here. I don't know, maybe we'll see that in the future. But anyways, I probably don't need to add any grease, but if you do, I'm going to show you how you can do this with the steel super lube. Just grab your pick and you just want to pack in a little bit of grease inside of there. Again, it might get a little messy. You might want to wear some gloves, but just go ahead. You don't need a lot. Just go ahead and pack it in there, and it will distribute evenly by itself. So again, if your trimmer is fairly new, you probably won't need to even do this. This is something that you want to do maybe once or twice a year. It doesn't have to be done on like a weekly or monthly basis unless you are just super picky like that. We'll go ahead and spin the head. And yeah, we got a pretty good amount in there. So we'll just go ahead and pack it in a little bit more. Take our screw, thread it back in there, and tighten it up. So thank you again so much for watching. If you have any questions at all on how to install an Echo SpeedFeed 400 head on the Toro 60V Revolution Series string trimmer, please let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, take care, God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.